so many of our rules, cause I was afraid.
Okay, so this is the moment that we have all been waiting for. So the CEO of First Place Hotel, Edward Fernandez, he has completely renovated this entire property, and we are about to see 160 units?
167.
167 units. Don't play with him.
What if an entertainment producer from Atlanta traded backstage passes for hotel keys? Edward Fernandez knows what it's like to lose a roof. Housing instability was a part of his story. But Edward didn't start there. From stages and spotlights, he carried lessons of resilience, of hustle, of never letting a closed door end the show. That drive became the foundation for something bigger. First Place Hotels and Property Management. Today, families who walk into his hotels aren't just checking into a room. They're stepping into a second chance. Payroll, $175,000 every month, covering housekeepers, front desk staff, maintenance crews, security. From concerts to corridors, from the rhythm of music to the rhythm of operations, Edward Fernandez transformed survival into a system and gave it joy. First Place Hotels isn't just a business, it's a lifeline. Proof that sometimes the best show you'll ever produce is a safe night's rest for someone who needs it most.
Well, hello. Oh my gosh. I feel like I've known you, but that's what you two would do.
Really? Hello.
Why is this project so important to you?
Well, I saw him on Lola Cash's Instagram. She is a comedian, but she also gives tours around Atlanta. And I said, for them to have affordable housing, but he's given a luxury feel. You know, people, they have to stay in extended stays in motels. Sometimes it's not the best looking. But if you look good, you feel good. So it also changes a little bit on how people think too. And I just saw the different program. I said, I have to interview. So look, we got Student Magazine. We are doing an interview and we want to give it a first class vibe. So that's why I brought y'all.
What do you hope people take away from this interview?
That there are some affordable units. Let's just say you transition in life, you have kids, you're a young adult. This is a nice, safe place where you can live. And also for people who want to get involved in like the, what is this? Like not just real estate, but purchasing actual units. I think that's really cool. So he's doing a lot.
It wasn't a bad property. I mean, the sticks are there, so it's mainly like paint, flooring, things like that.
And not all affordable housing units, they don't have a pool.
No.
They don't have a pool, and I also see that you have
I got the soccer for the kids. I got the pergola. We just did a wine down Wednesday.
Ooh.
Had the bartender come in and pour some wine and cheese. That's up your alley?
So listen, This is what we might do. I might tell all my folks that we might need to come to First Place for, you know what I'm saying? Any other affordable place to live, what's the main difference? Like, why should people choose here?
The main difference is we're First Place. If you're not first, you what?
Last.
Which one you want to be? You want to be first or you want to be second? That's the main difference, right? You're in first place. But the main real difference is we care about people, right? We put people over profits. I think the ultimate thing that allows us to do that was because we acquired these properties at a time where it was really like low to acquire. So because of that, we were able to make the right investment into the properties and continue to make them to make sure that we give people a great experience.
Okay, now wait a minute. Cameraman.
Bring it in.
Y'all gotta look at this. Y'all, look at this place. This is like an Airbnb in Miami, baby. Don't play.
It's not bad.
Don't play.
It's not bad. It's good in the hood, guys. It's good in the hood.
So when people come here, like, what are the requirements? They need a place to stay. Do they call? Do they text? What do they do?
Need a place to stay, basically they can call or they can come in. We're open 24 hours, 7 days a week. And the cool thing about it is, right, let's just say you need some place to stay for a week. Your first week in first place is always just $275.
Pause.
Did you hear that?
$275. Now y'all know you can pay $275 for anything.
So where you gonna stay in Atlanta for a week for $275?
And it looks like this.
Where you gonna chill? Like, you know, you ain't doing a room in house. Where you gonna chill at for $275 in Atlanta for a week? Where? So here's the pergola.
It's so nice.
You can wrap this, decorate it. You got the fans, you have lights, you have string lighting, you have music that's out here, you have the grills. You can rent it for your baby showers. You can rent it. It's about to be fall, right? A little kickback, fall birthday parties, family reunions, baby showers.
I'm the director of operations. Pretty much just oversee operations here at First Place. It's kind of it.
Yeah, this is a guy that really makes it happen, right? I'm the talker, right? I'm the CEO, but he makes it really happen. He's the hands and feet of First Place. Like when I started this 7 years ago, I was really running. The more you do this, like you can't run as much, right? This man runs day in, day out, from property to property, from business to business, ultimately ensuring and carrying our success.
So I'm Jasmine, I'm the chief of staff. I pretty much advise Edward on day-to-day operations. So I work hand in hand with Chief, making sure things are moving smoothly.
Her title is chief of staff, but I call her the puppet master. So she's the person in the background pulling all the strings of all the key players and a lot of the support staff as it relates to achieving the mission on a daily basis for First Place. And then most importantly, as she said, she advises me. I'm not always able to get on Wesley Chapel or I'm tied up somewhere else, and she's kind of able to advise me and act as the eyes and ears, but also more importantly, making sure that my vision is being achieved.
I'm Kamara, and today I have with me Edward Fernandez, okay? He is the owner of First Place Hotel, and he also has so many other properties, and he's a philanthropist in addition to so many other things. He is going to be doing a Look We Are Included interview for our Visionary series, so thank you. Thank you. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm so honored and happy that I was selected. I've seen your social media. I've checked out the magazine, and I know that there's so many other people you could have chosen for this, right? And I don't know how you chose the Project Kid, but I'm glad you chose me. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and just a special shout out to your staff. When I say hospitality, from the text messages to the front desk, we're going to take a training, okay?
Awesome. Thank you. So, hey, we work hard. It's a lot of pressure. And I do believe I have some of the best people on my team in Atlanta. Absolutely.
So first, let's dive into First Place Hotel. We don't see a lot of black men owning real estate, let alone over 130 units. Talk to us about your background and why you started this.
So funny thing is I worked in hotels at one point. I used to work for Hyatt Place. And I actually opened up a couple of Hyatt places. The last one that I opened was in Fort Myers, Florida. And so that's where the whole hospitality background came about. Nevertheless, when I was married, they wanted to, they didn't want to move me back to Atlanta. And my ex-wife at the time, she was pregnant with my son and she wanted to be where her mom was. They refused to give me a job in Atlanta because there was no openings at the time. And I ended up working for like a property that was similar to the one that I have here. But it was very bad, right? I ended up going to work for that owner, and that kind of opened the door for me into getting into this type hotel. That's how I started.
Now, when we talk about affordable housing, you're putting a spin on it because, I mean, these units, you've seen the Tyler Perry movies and Daddy's Little Girls when they were living in very low, very rent, but people can actually rent these from Airbnb. Like, these are very high class units. Why did you choose to go that route?
One, like you said, right? The whole affordable housing take. I've sat with a lot of commissioners, a lot of CEOs, mayors, and what people are starting to look at now are these extended stays. Yeah. You cannot talk affordable housing without addressing extended stays, because most people who find themselves needing housing or having some type of housing scarcity, they end up in extended stays, right? Once you've been evicted, or if you have credit issues, where can you go? You can't go to an apartment, you can't go and get a house. Typically you rely on an extended stay, where typically the payment is weekly. There's no background check, there's no other criteria outside of your ability to pay. And so what I started looking at was, how can I take properties like these that were once blighted, upgrade them, because typically what people pay weekly at these type of properties sometimes exceeds traditional apartment rent. And so I was like, if I can take these type of properties that are blighted, renovate them, and give people the kind of product that we offer while they're in transition, and also put some systeming that I think is necessary for them to have lasting success once they are out of this type of space and into more traditional housing, I think they can have more long-term success. And what our data has shown is that people typically come to our property, they're here for about 4 months. They use this as a launching pad to get into more traditional housing, and we never see them again unless they're back on a weekend for like a little turn up or something. Right. It works, but we have a lot of systeming and programming around our setup here, where they're getting more than just a room. They're getting a whole system that's committed to what their life looked like outside of here.
One of the stories that really caught my attention, it was on your YouTube channel, and there was a lady, she said she had an overdose, and basically you all helped her with job readiness, but then the staff, this is what really got me. She said the staff walked her through basically not taking her own life.
Absolutely.
And you know, navigating that overdose. So talk to me about why did you decide to train your staff in that way? Because usually you'll just have front desk people, you'll just have hospitality workers, but it's almost like they're trained in the mental health space. Why'd you
So one, because you are an extended stay hotel, you typically open yourself up to everybody that needs to be housed. Not everybody that use us come looking like you and I. Some people come off the street.
Just FYI, I didn't always look like
this. Oh, you didn't wake up like this? Got it. I thought you woke up like this, like Beyonce said. So because I understand that people come to us from various walks of life, you have to have your staff trained to meet people where they are. The lady that you're talking about is Miss Jennifer. At the time, she was being housed with us through an organization called PAD. And a lot of them had experienced like substance abuse, right, at some point. And during that whole ordeal, my staff, we have 24-hour security, but we also have resource officers that are trained on how to deal and identify people that may be in crisis. And just so luckily on one of the patrols, because they're patrolling like every 45 minutes to an hour, all led by our director of operations, who was over our security at one point, Collins, who's here. But nevertheless, they're on a patrol and they see her basically in crisis, and they're able to get into the room using a master key, and they intercepted her taking her own life.
Oh my gosh.
So it happened.
So y'all are doing more. See, this is what I'm getting at. Y'all are more than just a transitional home. Y'all are more than just an advocacy group. Y'all really care about people.
Oh yeah, you have to care about people. I mean, our business, you're in hospitality, our business is people. This property in particular is 167 rooms. We have about 130 rooms up right now. Most of them were sold out. So, but typically you have anywhere from about 200 to 300 people here on a given night. Yeah, if you don't like people, this ain't the business for you. And not only that, you have to like and understand people from various walks of life. And I think what allowed me to do this is, no matter where I am now, right? I came from the projects of New Orleans. I came from family who had substance abuse issues. I came from family that was the product, that was probably pushing some of the substances that were being abused. So when I look for teammates and I look for staff, I look for people that have like a very diverse background. A lot of us that are people that are on my team, while they have gone to school and they've done well, or even like they've had time in law enforcement, they have families that's been tied to the system. A lot of us came from the hood, so we get it. So when we see people, our actions is not to get them incarcerated. Our actions are not to get them put out of our properties. Our actions is how can we help you to become better and navigate just where you are right now.
That is amazing. I just want you to briefly touch on, before we get to the other properties that you own, briefly touch on your experience with homelessness and eviction, because I think that's a touch point why you connect with them so well.
Absolutely. So anybody who's ever done the entrepreneurial walk in Atlanta, it's not for the faint at heart.
What was your first business?
Oh God, which one? I was creating them every 45 days. And I was, I'm from New Orleans. I moved here. I didn't come with Katrina, so I'm not the Katrina transfer. I came 3 years after Katrina was over. I came in 2008. But my first business was entertainment. But coming from New Orleans and coming into this big city, my eyes were wide open, and I wanted to live the life I saw everybody living when I came here one weekend. I came here one weekend to visit. My grandma co-signed a condo at the 12 downtown.
Okay.
And gave me $2,600, God rest her soul. And I convinced her, Grandma, don't worry, I got everything under control. All I need is this $2,600 and I'm gonna be good. I met a man, I never mentioned this man's name all these years, Adrian Pross. He is the VP of SunTrust. It was his condo I was renting. That man took a chance on me like, Edward, you're gonna figure it out. Adrian, I owe you some money. I didn't pay this man. But like Adrian Pross called me. Called me. I owe you some money. I didn't pay this man for like 3-4 months. And then I made him go through the whole process of evicting me. I didn't have it. I was out. It was bad. So that was the first time I got evicted from the 12 downtown. And the second time I was literally trying to really do right this time. Right? I'm married. I got a son. We got a 1-bedroom at Edgewater Center. And I might owe y'all Edgewater, but y'all ain't getting out of dime. Don't call me. Don't call me. But literally, I got, that's 7 years ago. The debt, it fell off my credit report. I owe you nothing. From there, I'm out here. I was doing plays. Really? I had produced shows at the Fox. So I was in entertainment, and literally I was working. I had a job in Social Circle, Georgia. It was the highest job I can get because I don't have a degree. I was literally sweeping floors of a construction site. Let me take that back. I was supposed to be sweeping floors. Other construction site, I would get the broom at 8.
Yeah.
And literally I'm hiding from 9 to 3 o'clock.
What was you doing from 9 to 3, writing?
I was writing, I was making calls, I was calling Shirley Murdoch, she'll tell you, trying to get her to be in my play. Christopher Williams, I was talking to Erica Dixon, who was trying to get some money, talking about I need to send her, make a deposit in her Chase. Yeah, I was running my, and this was the only thing that could support me. Right. My ex-wife at the time, she was working at Nordstrom, I'm taking all her check. Like, I need that, I'm trying to put on this show. And nevertheless, I'll never forget it, right? I quote unquote made it. I made it to the Fox, and I tell people the craziest thing was I remember going on 85 and I had a billboard. I saw my name in lights and I went home and my lights were off. You get what I'm saying? But I also learned that's the Atlanta way. Right, it's crazy, but when you're living an entrepreneurial walk, like I met so many people who they had Maybachs, and I later found out they were living in them. But that's the Atlanta way, right? But that was my business that I walked away from. After that, I lost everything. And I was like, you know what? You have this dream to be a big entertainer and to be famous. And I said, maybe it's God's plan for you to be nameless. Right, and I think a lot of time when we're looking at being rich, we always associate it with fame. And the more you get money, you understand that the people that really got it, you don't even know their name. And so I started a very different route. I ended up starting an insurance company, and Lord, that hit. I went from entertainment. Again, my grandma stepped up again after I lost everything. She supported me for a few months, for about 6-7 months. My grandmother supported me, and I ended up starting a property damage insurance company called Collision Connection. That is a business.
Tell us the name again.
My company was called Collision Connections, but it was a property damage management firm. So we live in the South, and in the South, if you're in a wreck, you get a check. And so what I discovered was that typically when you sign up for a personal injury attorney, they handle your personal injury, but typically they don't do your property damage, right? They let you work with the insurance company to get your car fixed and blah, blah, blah. So nevertheless, I went and told the attorney, I said, let me ask you a question. When you sign a client up, right, you send a letter out of representation to the insurance company and you say, don't talk to my client, they're represented. But then you go back and say, but you can talk to them about property damage, right? And I was like, does that make sense? And these people were like, you know what, that don't make that, you're right, that don't make sense. I said, you need to let me talk. So I found a loophole in the law where I would act as a paraprofessional under their license. Boy, Geico came after me. They're like, this bastard was on to something. But literally as a paraprofessional under their license for property damage, and I'm like, by us working together, your client will be fully represented. I also show them that when people are injured and their car needs to be repaired, they typically go to the insurance company's preferred body shop. I said, when they're in the body shop, there's prearranged rates. They use refurbished parts. They're not truly restoring and making the client whole. And what they do is they use that estimate that they did, and they say that there's no way with this $2,000 repair, your client has $15,000 worth of damage. But what they don't tell you and show you is that that's a very suppressed estimate. So I went out and picked up 20 body shops that were not in the insurance company's preferred network. I created my own network. And then I made them give me 10% of every claim I gave them, and I made the law firm give me $500. I made in my first 6 months of business, I probably made like $1 million.
That's how you hit jackpot.
Yeah, I hit the jackpot. So I was nameless. Remember, I was nameless. I gave up wanting to be fame, and I couldn't call Erica Dixon no more. I couldn't call Tammy and Walker. I gave all that up and I went nameless and focused on real business, and it hit. And then I used that because Geico, Progressive, them was like, oh no, he's practicing law. They was like, we got to shut him down. If we don't, I had to get some big attorneys because I was the first to market. They was like, we have to stop him. I'm like, you know what, y'all ain't got to stop me. I'm gonna be out. I'm about to go do something else. And then again, Marcy Thomas, a lady that I knew through Hyatt, ended up calling me about this property. She was like, there's an opportunity I think you should look at.
Wow. And I'm gonna ask you a couple more questions. I know you're a busy man.
I told you I had a whole story, right?
It's okay. No, because that leads up into a lot of black people. They want the Instagram, they want the cars, they want the Teslas, but they don't want them invoices.
Right, absolutely.
I mean, they don't want those huge invoices and then the payment arrangement.
Absolutely.
But you are talking about something that white and black people go through.
Yeah.
But black people, they just love to be showy.
You gotta, I think there's a lady, I don't know who she is, I can't give her credit, but she says crawl before you ball, right? My team will tell you, like, this is probably the most dressed up they've seen me in the last year.
Really?
Literally, I walk around like
Look at you like, no.
But except for when we had the CEO visit, right? That was it. That was the only time we had the CEO came to visit us of DeKalb County, Lorraine Johnson. She was here to visit us. But other than that, I'm in some basketball shorts, T-shirt, and I'm ashy. I don't even be having on lotion and oil. I put this on because, you were coming. Other than that, I like to walk around the master of anonymity, right? No, you have to crawl before you ball. I have $175,000 a month payroll. Right, we have.
Wait a minute, wait. We're not gonna skip past that.
Yeah.
$175,000, not a year.
No, per month.
Not a quarter.
Per month, payroll.
Month. Okay.
We have almost 60 employees across our properties that work for us, and then we had the mortgages are over $100,000 a month. Like, this is a multi-million-dollar business that was built by us, right, and for us. And we understand that, like, you got to handle your business. Like, I got a tax bill I was arguing with them about this morning on our meeting this morning. Our property tax bill on this property alone is due on September 30th. It's $121,000. So what I look like driving a $300,000 car, which I have, but again, I can't pay my taxes, I can't pay my bills, and I can't pay my people. I never have people that be like, he ain't gonna pay us. Now what they will ask, sir, I updated my direct deposit, why my money didn't hit? But we don't have those. We put people first, we handle our business first. And then whatever we have left, then we kind of ball with. And what I've taught my team and the way I built my team with having multiple properties and businesses is I'm always like, I don't have to squeeze one thing, right, for everything. So I can get a little bit of this, a little bit of this property, a little bit of that bit. And I promise you, when you get into this space, a little bit is a lot. You don't need much. My team next, 2 weeks from now, we're all at the Ritz-Carlton at Lake Oconee. All right, we live, we travel, we rent yacht. We have fun, but we handle our business, and they'll tell you it's not easy. Right. It's not easy. Collins was out here, what was it, Friday? At 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. Like, we worked. 2 o'clock in the morning, we work. Jasmine is up on WhatsApp all night.
What's on WhatsApp? That's the international app.
WhatsApp, we just run our messaging through WhatsApp. So all of our messaging is done through WhatsApp, and because our properties are 24 hours, we're in constant communication with the support staff that's on the ground on what's happening. Like, I'm waking up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and we're checking numbers, and we're seeing, hey, did anything happen, right? Not like somebody getting shot or anything like that, but again, there are 300 people on one property every night. That's a lot of liability. And they be drinking and having fun, but again, that's a lot of liability, right? And because all of our properties, we try to create this sense of community, but like in every community, we don't always get along. Yeah. So we have to navigate that. We have a lot of security to help with that, but people will be people.
Right. I have about 3 more questions before we walk the property.
Okay.
Because these amazing units that y'all are seeing on Instagram. Just FYI, I want to give a shout out to Lola Cash. Because when I saw her plop in that bed with her heel and one of those units, I said, is she at an Airbnb? And I said, First Place Hotel. I said, I never heard of that. Yeah. So I looked, I said, oh, and then that's how that happened. Shout out Lola. Let me ask you, so in order to even get a hotel like this, you have to meet some kind of requirements. They're just not giving them out. But I also looked at your before and after. You demolished a lot. What was that process like?
Definitely did a lot of renovations, but they are not just giving them out, right? Anybody can get them if you can buy them, but right place, right time.
But why'd you choose this area?
Why not? Why not? Think about this area. Everybody else saw, this is the hood, right? You're in Decatur, it's the hood. I'm 20 minutes from downtown Atlanta. I'm 10 minutes from the city of Atlanta. Atlanta's running out of space. Why not? That's what I kept saying. And people thought I was crazy. And then I started leveraging this one to buy another one, and now I control the whole exit, right? And when Target...
Pause. Yeah. You said you control the what?
I control the exit.
There you go.
I have everyone, and now all these, forgive me for what I'm about to say, but now all these powerful white men are coming at me and literally I've been through hell. The money I just spent in the last year on litigation because people are like, how did this Negro end up with these properties? And now they want them because of everything that I believed was going to happen. They're expanding the interstates. All these major developers, Publix, all of them are coming. Right, gentrification is about to hit Wesley Chapel, and so now they want these properties. Right, when I bought the one First Place at Wesley, I bought it for $4.2 million in 2022. I rejected an offer from Target on the next day for $9 million. Right, so
because they already knew where it was going.
Oh, they see it. I'm lucky. I'm real lucky. I kind of sense stuff. I could see it. And the funny thing is, I never forget when I sat and met with them. It was funny, and because Target was like, how did you know? How did you see it? And one of my mentors, we were there and we were talking with them, and I was like, he thought I was crazy. He looked at him and said, do you think he's crazy now? People always think you're crazy when you start. Yeah. Right? When you're starting off and you're doing something that hasn't been done, people think you're crazy. Then they study you. Right. So, yeah.
Well, I wanted to say the reason why I kept asking why is because I'm a Georgia peach.
Okay.
Grew up Riverdale, born in Riverdale, grew up in Stockbridge, went to high school in Douglas County. But this area was so untapped. People used to say all kind of stuff. You used to hear about it on the radio. So that's why I was just so emphatic about this guy saw something other people did not.
Not only that, I'm going to tell you something else, right? I said it to my son all the time. There's nothing wrong with being a copycat. You just have to know which cats copy. So when you look at our communities, you look at, whether it's Greenbrier, or you look at like where we are today, or or bankhead. What I found to be common is Indians and Asians, they move in. They bring their families here and they take up stores and they take up nail shops and they buy these properties. And I started thinking to myself, why are they moving here in the hood? They're not moving here. Like, again, their businesses are here, and yet they're sending their children to great schools. They buying the newest Audis and they live in Johns Creek. I've been to some of the houses because I'm one in that class. So I get invited to the club and I'm like, but everything they have is in the hood, but they live very well. And when I saw that, I'm like, I might need to copy these people. Something going on in the hood. There's a reason why it's called a trap, and it has nothing to do with drugs. It's called a trap because typically they know that when we're here, it's very hard for us to get out. And so what they do is they capitalize, right, on where we are in the moment, and they build their lives off of it. And my thing is, I was like, I'm not trying to capitalize off of nobody else's downfall, but if I can enter the space, make a difference, and then feed my family at the same time, why not?
Because wait a minute. Did you tell us how many properties you have? You have this one and
I have three. I have 3 on Wesley Chapel. So on Wesley Chapel combined, I have almost 500 units. This one is 167. The one directly on Wesley Chapel is 100 units, 101 units. And then the one when you get off the interstate is 152. And then I have 55 in Hateville, and I have an 11-bedroom transitional house in Atlanta. So almost a little bit shy of 500 units in total. But what's next? What's next is I'm passing it off. Right?
Wait a minute, huh?
I'm passing it off. I'm trying to retire by 40. So
You're not 40? No, you don't look 40. All I'm saying is for somebody to be this accomplished, I thought you would be.
I'm 37. I'm trying to get to heaven.
You're 37?
I'm 37.
You are so young.
I started this, 7 years ago. Yeah, I was
Your
30.
first hotel?
My first hotel, I was 30.
No publicity. Why didn't I know? Why didn't anybody know? Out of all the stuff they put on the shade room.
We support everybody but us. That's it.
But did they know you owned it?
Collins, they knew. Did they know? People know. They always know. We've entertained some real. I've been all the way to the White House. Trump invited me to the White House, so they know. All right, but the Bible says Jesus came into his own, and his own received him not. Right, the hardest place it is to thrive and find honor, sadly to say, is amongst your own people. And I'm just being a lot of people know. We've done all kind of stuff with the county. Like I do all kind of give backs. I bought out Kroger's. I've done back to school. They know, but that's not what they're putting on the news. That's not what they're celebrating. And again, I'm okay because my mindset had already shifted. It was no longer to be famous. It is to be nameless. And one of the things I tell my team all the time is you'll know how many people know and the impact I made in Decatur and DeKalb County when I'm dead. When I'm dead, Wesley Chapel, they're gonna name it to Edward Fernandez. But we celebrate and we love dead heroes. People that do what we do, I'm just talking about making a real impact for our community, you're a threat, right? The fact that we have 60 people that have come together every day to do what we do and they look like us, they be like, you get what I'm saying? If you put any gasoline on, you might have a movement, right? This might really take off. You might become the person that take all kind of blighted properties and do this with, and they know the real change, the way to really change the game. You can't change the game if you don't have real estate. It's monopoly. And this kind of real estate is life changing. And I'm gonna say something I shouldn't say. This property, a $2.5 million acquisition, right? A $19,000 a month mortgage, position that does $335,000 a month in revenue. They don't want us with stuff like this. And that's one. Why? Do you know the change you can make? Do you know how you can change futures? And a lot of us, it's not that we don't have talent, it's that we're broke. We're broke.
Last question before we tour. If you could give advice to any Black entrepreneur, what would it be?
Don't quit. Don't quit, keep going, go bankrupt, mess up your credit. I've done it all. Like I didn't go personally bankrupt, but shit, I didn't have no money, so there was no need to file. But I would say, don't quit. throw everything, wreck your credit, max your credit cards, because if it wins, if it works, you won't remember none of that. I don't remember until you told me about me being evicted. I didn't remember. You won't remember it.
I only brought it up because I saw it.
I love it. Let me be clear. Projects, been evicted, all of that, right? Full repos. But the thing about it is I kept betting on myself. I kept believing that I was destined for something more than just working like on somebody's job.
Yeah.
Like my corporate team, I don't create employees. I create like teammates, and I put them in position to be like to be boss. Collins, like I said, he is our director of operations. He started with me in 2019, but I'm grooming him like to take over. Right, because my goal is I can't keep doing this. Yeah. Right, I gave up my marriage for it. I missed so much of my children for it. My goal is to pass it to somebody else. Right, I don't have to be around to still own it. Right, my goal is to make other people's lives who want it as bad as I do, to make a difference in their lives. Right, as a result of what we've been able to acquire. But yeah, I would say don't quit.
Okay.
Keep going.
What's some relationship advice you would give to an entrepreneur?
Ooh, this is the one. Please hear this, entrepreneurs. It's gonna sound cliche. It's gonna sound crazy. And I'm sure y'all have heard this before. The most significant decision you will ever make in your life outside of choosing God is who you marry.
Are you a Christian?
I'm a Christian. I'm probably like Islamic. I'm a Christian with some Muslim beliefs, but I believe Jesus is Lord. He died. I believe all that. But I got some Muslim discipline. You got to have discipline to do what we do. Your spouse, like, be careful who you choose. Like, I was married 11 years, 13 together, and a lot of people, I've been divorced over 4 years. A lot of people, oh, you failed. Oh, I didn't fail. I had a very successful marriage. I got my kids from that marriage. I got businesses out of that marriage. I had a very successful marriage. But the wrong spouse will derail you, delay you. Imagine me. I'm 37. I got married when I was 22 years old. Getting out here in these Atlanta streets 13 years later.
I just want to say thank you.
Thank you so much for choosing me.
You are doing such an amazing job. It's going to be many more. I know you said you're passing off, but you're going to be on Shark Tank. I really think your next gig might be a church.
Really? You want me to preach? I might preach. How much money I can get?
All right. Well, this has been Edward Fernandez. Look, we are included.com.